turning off their cameras while carrying out their actions. So let's have proper supervision. Let's make sure that the right officers assigned and understand communication, conflict resolution, and use our skill and intel to identify those known shooters with precision policing and identify those gang members that are creating the havoc in our city.
So there you go. That was Eric Adams. He's running for mayor of New York City. There's 12 Democratic candidates, 12, and Eric Adams is one of them. Oh, Eric Stop and Frisk Adams. And you also got Sean Donovan and Diane Morales and Maya Wiley and Scott Stringer. So the big election is going to be the Democratic primary because you got 12 Democrats here running. It's Bill de Blasio, right? The Democrats are in power, so the Democratic primary is probably where the next mayor of New York City is going to be decided. There's also 2 Republicans and some independent candidates. So there you go. And we also got ranked choice voting. It's kind of ridiculous that they're going to do top 5 for just, a total amount of 12 candidates. But ranked choice voting is already working. It's going to stop the spoiler effect. But you had Andrew Yang did a political event with Kathryn Garcia. And Kathryn, who, spells her name Kathryn with a Kathryn, like an asshole. But Andrew Yang is reaching out to Kathryn Garcia because he said that he's the #1 pick, but she would be the #2 pick. So this makes our elections more cordial because you have to rank the candidates. You might not get the person's first choice, but you might get the other person's second, third, or fourth choice. So instead of just saying, the other person's a Nazi, Hitler, devil, and what have you, just going on and on and on, you actually have, a specific nuanced conversation. Maybe about the issues, maybe about policy. I don't want to push things too much. New York Times, they've endorsed Kathryn Garcia. So Kathryn Garcia, I would say, is probably Andrew Yang's biggest competitor. Now, the Working Family parties, they said they would vote for Scott Stringer, #1, and then Kathryn Garcia, and then Maya Wiley. So look out for Scott Stringer and Maya Wiley. Maya Wiley, beautiful black woman. Not sure what she believes, but beautiful black woman. So there was a New York 1 debate recently, which is what we were listening to earlier of Eric Adams, and 8 candidates actually participated in the Zoom debate. Ray McGuire, Maya Wiley, Sean Donovan, Andrew Yang, Kathryn Garcia, Diane Morales, Eric Adams, and Scott Stringer. Now, Diane Morales is for a Green New Deal. Great, let's take care of our environment. She's for gun buyback. She hates gun traffic guardians. She wants the cops to be guardians of the community, not a bunch of warriors who's trying to attack the community, but guardians. I like that rhetoric. I like that she's for the Green New Deal. Andrew Yang, he says his internal polling says that New York City cares about 3 issues, and only 3 issues: jobs, public safety, and poverty. So that means we need a war on crime, a war on poverty, and a war on slothfulness. So Andrew Yang, he says that he's against defund the police, which, go fuck yourself, Andrew Yang. He's also working on, instead of defund the police, Andrew Yang wants to work on what he calls a focused deterrence, which, the more that you focus on the problem, then, the more deterrence there is. You focus more, and then deterrence. Ray McGuire, beautiful black man, says he loves New York, but that New Yorkers are hungry for change. They're hungry for change. He says that he wants police protection as a 200-pound, 6'4" black man. He doesn't want the police to profile him. He wants the protection from the police. And so he says we got to restructure the New York Police Department. For one thing, he wants a deputy mayor of public safety, which does the day-to-day, police, stuff, interacts with folks in the community. And also, if there's one offense in the chain of command, then the whole chain of command gets into trouble. So if one person did something they weren't supposed to, the whole chain of command is going to get in trouble. So he also said something to do with mental health issues. So there's some ideas, right? That's where the rubber meets the road. So do you want Ray McGuire? Yeah, he might be able to give a speech here and there, but look at the quality of the ideas. A deputy mayor, public safety, is that what we need for New York City? A deputy mayor? Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. And chain of command, you're going to, you know, one person on the bottom fucks up, and then isn't he on the top of the chain of command? So if one person, then I'm not sure exactly how that is going to go down. And then Sean Donovan says he's the only person who has talked to folks across the United States of America to work for safety and respect. And he also said that fewer than half of the cops are from New York City and that he'd change it. Now, there's a good-ass idea. Why don't you actually have New York, you know, Cityans actually police New York City? So you have not, who's policing, if New York City doesn't police New York City, who the fuck is policing New York City? Fucking Staten Island or some shit? Who polices New York City? So fewer than half the cops are actually from New York City. That, of course, the cops should be from the community. Motherfucking police will, you know, they'll beat the shit out of anybody. They'll get away with beating the shit out of. But if they're actually from the community, then they have more of a stake to make sure that there's justice and safety, and that the things, you know, that people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. People are getting along and what have ya.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Morales,
This moderator, Earl Lewis.
The problems that we've seen in recent days with the shootings and the street violence.
Just going to listen to this for a minute.
So let me just start off by saying that I share every New Yorker's desire to live in safety. But the reality of it is that safety is not synonymous with policing. We've got the largest municipal police department in the nation. If the size and the funding associated with policing...
This is Diane Morales, which, great last name, Evo Morales, Diane Morales. She's beautiful too, looks light-complected, light-skinned, but beautiful and smart. Like, okay, let's hear what...
Equated safety, we'd be the safest city in the country. But the reality of it is that our communities are over-policed and under-resourced. So the violence that we're addressing or that we're witnessing is actually happening on the watch of the NYPD. We actually need to recognize that police respond to crime. They don't prevent crime.
It's weird there's areas in the United States of America that's being over-policed. I haven't seen a damn, I've seen a cop out here maybe once or twice. That's about, and that's only because, you know,
Invest in our communities.
911 had to be called.
Address the conditions that make people unsafe. Poverty, community divestment, unequal education, health injustice, housing insecurity. Those are the things that we need to be providing for and taking care of so that we can ultimately build safer communities in this city. It's time for us to focus on and address the systems, not the symptoms. That is one of the things that we need to fundamentally transform in terms of our approach to these issues.
So there you go. Diane Morales says we need to change, we need to, focus on the systems. What'd she say? The symptoms, right? So we need to fix the systems, not just focus on the symptoms, but the systems itself. So she's talking about institutional change. So that's Diane Morales speaking out about institutional change. So there you go. Let's start talking about the mayor's race of New York City, June 22nd. It's ranked choice voting, 12 candidates, top 5. It's not too fucking hard. If anything, it's too much. It's too much. Top 5 for 12 candidates. You could do top 5 for like 50 candidates, and then for 20, top 3 would have worked. But we're going to have top 5 for 12. Okay, then this should not. This should go. There should be absolutely no fucking problems whatsoever. If anything, maybe it might be too much. You got to pick 5 fucking candidates. I think top, 3 for 12 candidates would have worked out a lot better. But top 5, okay. So that means for 5 rounds or whatever, and then the math and the algorithm, and you'll definitely get. I think you'll get a mayor the first day. You'll be able to do top 5, and then eventually a mayor will emerge. But I'm not for sure if they actually get rid of the less than 5%. I don't know. I got a model for how I would do ranked choice voting, and I'm not sure if they did the exact. They're not doing my model. They're doing their own model, which, So there you go. Candidates field pre-taped audience questions. Yang and Adams, Stringer, big bucks in play. Alright, there you go. So Andrew Yang, right, name recognition, people know who that is, but who are these other motherfuckers? And I think Andrew Yang is going to put attention on the race, but are people, you know, are they actually, are top 5? New Yorkers have to find 5 good candidates out of these 12, because you got to pick top 5. So out of these top, okay, Yang, is that your man? Yang's your man, or you got 4 other, and then it's right around the corner. Early voting is the 11th, so that's less than a month away. And then the 22nd is when the election day is over. So that's just, you know, that's just right there. So New Yorkers, start studying your candidates. You got an election, a major, very important election. And you got 8.5 million New York citizens, so 8.5 people, 8.5 million, and they only found 12 candidates. Anyways, 8.5 million people are about to. That's a big-ass city, you know. You could go from New York mayor to the presidency. Well, I mean, what other cities are like that? L.A., Houston, fucking Chicago. You know what I mean? There's only so many. There's like the governor of New York, the governor of California. These are, it's kind of a step right before the White House. So Bill de Blasio, he tried to run for president. Did he not? So who's going to be the president? Well, I guess first things first, right? Well, who's going to be the mayor of New York? I don't know. Let's figure this out together.